Good evening. I knew when I was 14 where my career was going to be. I was going to spend the next 50 years in a drawing office, and that's what it looked like in the 1970s. So I love taking things apart. I love motorcycles, I love bicycles, go-karts and airfix models. And I wanted to be designing them. So I started an apprenticeship. I left school at 16, I had a couple of O-levels, I was back well qualified, but I got an apprenticeship in a company in Sussex, APV called APV, which made growing dairy equipment. And that was where I was going to be doing my work. But it was 3 years before I saw the drawing board, because they gave me a program in engineering, in mathematics, in materials and processes. And I spent 3 years on the shop floor understanding the products before I was able to design anything. I moved on from there, fairly rapidly after that, into a completely different industry, which was UHV industry, surface analysis, with fundamental materials research, but at an atomic level of materials. And I was there as a design engineer for a few years, and then I got an opportunity to move into research and development. So I was now designing and developing new products, building test rigs, testing them, all in high security. This was in the 1980s in London. There was a lot of work going on in the financial sector because the IRA were buying a lot of London at the time. And I put that slide up because if you cross Tower Bridge any time, think of me, because on that pontoon on the southern side there is a turnstile I designed, which is still working 30 years later on the bridge there. So I was involved in the security industry at that time. Still designing things, still making things, still tinkering in workshops. And I was then poached to go back into the UHV industry. And I came back in as a design office manager. So I was designing the same products, but my career had progressed, and I was now managing other people doing the same thing. And I spent quite a few years in there, and I moved back during that period from design into production management, into operations management, and finally operations director, where we did a lot of work on lean manufacturing, and we thought about how we make products as much as what we're making. Now in the background, my tinkering hadn't stopped, but I moved on to motorbikes and cars. And this was a project I had. 2009, I got this off eBay. I built a few motorbikes, restored them, rebuilt them. This was a project I had, so I was still tinkering in the garage. By now I was also self-employed. And I discovered on Google, looking at Christmas 2009, I remember it well, I found that Kingston University, not far the road, had built an electric motorbike and were racing at St. Pod near Milton Keynes. And as an engineer, I thought, wow, how does that work? So I bought a book. I didn't know much about electric vehicles, I hadn't really heard of it in 2009. But I bought a book because I thought, well, I understand the basics, the book will tell me what I don't know. I know what I need to ask. So I bought a book, and in 18 months of never hearing what an electric motorcycle was, we broke the UK record on the bike that I built. So we were at St. Pod, May 2011, with the UK's quickest electric motorcycle. That machine went on to spend a year at the National Motor Museum of Weald in Hampshire, which for me was a very proud moment. 3 or 4 years before, did I ever dream I'd build and design something that ended up there? No, I didn't. But I saw an opportunity, I saw something that excited and inspired me, and went and had a go at it. And there is next to the electric Bluebird landscape record car as well. Now, meanwhile, in America, this guy did a quarter-mile electric motorbike in 6.9 seconds at 201 miles an hour, and I thought, we've got to do that, because British engineering is better than them, so we're going to outbeat them. And this is why you do your science and your maths, because all that data is all available. If somebody gets you a challenge, how do you build a motorcycle to go quarter-mile in 6 seconds? That's where you start. You think, well, what do I need to know? How do I calculate that? So I started doing that in January 2012. In May 2015, we started 3.5 years of hard work, building up concepts, building up a network of people who are going to help, and more importantly, fundraising, because this is over £250,000 project. Innovate UK funded us, and the project is now underway. Now, not everybody wants a 200 mile an hour electric motorbike, but we do want lighter cars, we do want more fuel efficient, we do want more energy efficient cars, and that's the technology that's coming out of that project. Because only a couple of years ago, the 7 billion people on the planet became more urban, over 50% in urban rather than rural areas, and that's what we're suffering. We're going to suffer more of. It's congestion, it's air quality, it's those problems that we're looking to solve. I'm a STEM ambassador in Sussex, and I use motorsport to inspire and excite youngsters all the time. But the point being, in my 35 years or so of career, I've just seen opportunities. I never knew where I was going to be in 5 years' time, but I saw signs, I saw things, and thought, that was interesting. What do I have to do to get involved in that? I know the basics, I know what questions to answer, and that's the exciting thing about science and engineering, is you never know where you're going to end up. Thank you very much.